We're here today at Sweet Manufacturing. They're located in Kalamazoo, Michigan. They make a lot of race car based steering components and components for other pieces and parts within the steering system for other cars as well. Let's go ahead and see what Michigan makes.
My name's Phil Bozell. I've been with Sweet Manufacturing roughly 11 years. I've known Randy ever since I was a little kid. Randy started this company just as a hobby. He wanted to make things better. Our specialty now, through all the years, we do specialty high performance power steering, rack and pinions, steering boxes, a lot of suspension bracketry and special brackets that needed to be made for race cars, steering columns, quick releases to get the steering wheel off the column quicker. Randy was a big deal on safety also. So we do numerous quick releases for various sizes and pieces. Randy started this company with 2 or 3 people. As of today, we're up to 40 employees and growing. Multiple CNC machines, 3-axis, 4-axis, multiple turrets, some automation. We got a couple semi-automated CNC machines, CNC tubing bender, full fab welding shop. We got a motor press brake, 6x12 water jet. We pride ourselves on making a lot of our products in-house, and if we don't do them in-house, we try to keep them as local as possibly can with a lot of our vendors right here, local or close to local in Kalamazoo. Randy was big on letting people know Kalamazoo was here, and we want to carry that tradition on for many years to come. This used to be the original race shop that Randy Sweet built the race cars in. We have a lot of R&D work and some research and development products and parts built over here in the shop. Tommy's worked over here his whole career, and this is kind of where it all started over here.
You know approximately when this building was built?
This would have to be, I'd have to say, early 80s, probably late 70s.
And this is the original house?
Yep.
And then you just started expanding and built buildings as you needed to, basically?
Yep. The little building over there didn't last long. Another brother machine, a twin turntable, does some of our original U-joints, does some of the first op on them, and more than one at a time. It's a multiple process. This is one of our semi-automated loading machines. We just got to keep the belt valve for parts dedicated to this one part. Loads it, unloads it. Just got to check every so often on the parts, but it stays running as much as we can. Yeah, this is our rack teeth cutting machine. Cuts teeth on our rack shaft. One of the oldest machines we got here, but it works really well. This will be our 4th edition. Started as just a partial-less barn, and this has been added on 3 times, as you can see. Went wider, longer, then wider again.
Any significance to the Randy's World sign?
It was him. They called him the Kalamazoo Kamikaze. They said the fence was to keep the crazies in, not to keep the crazies out. Weld anything in here from our aluminum tanks, steel columns, rack brackets, rack eyes, TIG, MIG, rotary welding. We got a 6x12, 90,000 PSI water jet. We can cut up to 6 inches thick of steel and other various materials. CNC bandsaw, Lincoln plasma notcher for tubing, coal saw, and the other CNC saw. Pines CNC mandrel drawn tubing bender. Also, we got a 50-ton Amada CNC press brake for bending our parts and pieces. This is kind of our general fab shop. We do some pipe bending, some plasma notching, cutting, do some outsourced work on our pipe bender, and then shear, we do a little bit of work on that. And then we've moved some CNCs out here after we rearranged some stuff and start some more production work out in this shop also. This is our CNC pipe bender. We got 8 or 9 different dies for this. Anything from 3/4 square up to 2-inch round mandrel bend, roll cages, bump CNC area. We're moving some machines out here to expand our production on some of our CNCs and spread things out a little bit. Doing some semi-automation on the front machines and just trying to grow every day. This building here on this end is our offices. Shipping and receiving be in the middle. Then we go to assembly and sub-assembly on the back side of that, and some light manufacturing in the back part of this building. This was added on as we went, and plans to add on this way a little bit towards the ponds in the future. General assembly area, parts and pieces will come in through this door, get dispersed to their proper areas, steering box area, rack area, U-joint area, and they'll go through their processes at each of those areas. Current employees at each of those areas, dedicated to those areas. Some of them will have processes beyond that. They'll go through another area. Other than that, they will get assembled, tested, checked. If they're ready to go, they'll go to shipping, and Kevin will put them out the door and get them to our customers. This is our steering box assembly area. Dan assembles each steering box as it goes out the door, test each one, dyno each one, and then sends them to each individual customer. Make many different sizes of U-joints. I think we're up to 30 different sizes. Most of the racing and off-road applications, we get black coated, but we do make them for the hot rod guys that want the chrome. Obviously, everybody likes chrome. We also make a stainless version of the U-joint, chromed and the black, for various applications. A lot of the hot rod guys want the chrome, some of the off-road guys want the stainless. Just kind of whatever suits your purpose best.
People have technical questions. What's the best way for them to get advice from you guys?
Either on the website, send us a message, or just call the tech line, and we'll direct them to which department they need, and we can help them from there. We started our rebuild area. They'll get checked in and shipping. We'll check them in, tag them, note them, then they'll come back here on carts, wait for Josh to inspect them, and then they'll start to go over the rebuild area and continue that process. The other side of our rebuild area, they'll come in, Josh will check them out. We're actually sit here, get disassembled, go into the wash tank. We got a semi-automated wash tank. Get everything clean, inspected, figure out what it needs, go through the process of the parts it needs to rebuild, put it back together, run them on the test stands, and if required, they'll go on the dyno, and then they'll go back out to the customer.
Do you guys rebuild everything you sell within reason, or how does that normally?
Nope, anything that we sell we'll rebuild and go back out. Pumps, racks, servos, they can all come back and go back out, just like new.
What we do back here is assemble our rack and pinions. We'll start with an order. Our part number describes ratio, center distance, style of eyes, all the options that go on the rack. And we start with the housing, rack shaft, and the appropriate size pinion in here. Get that assembled, set our lash adjustment, get our boots on, and we're ready to put the cylinder on and whatever style of eyes we need. This is basically the start of a sub-assembly of a rack and pinion, and after we get that all finished, they end up on the test stand out there where you just filmed. We'll check, make sure there's not bias in the valve, check for leaks, check function. It's kind of our last step. If it doesn't get dynoed, if it gets dynoed, we'll do a little bit further testing on it, get a little bit more concise data. But this is a start of a rack and pinion.
Hi, my name is Brett Bush. I work in sweet manufacturing here in the great racing industry, and I balance hydraulic control valves for a living. And what these are is it's a control valve that actuates the fluid right to left inside your power steering component. And so my job is to make sure there's a zero bias right to left, just like if you was to let go of your steering wheel in your car and had a tie rod adjustment or something similar to that, it would keep your race car going whatever direction you pointed. If you're going left, all day to racing, then that's what you're doing. If you're in a sports car, we can do that. Just whatever you need, basically. But it's a real controlled atmosphere. I have great tools to work with. It's all computerized. That's the bulk of what I do. Outside of I do a lot of drilling with this machine here. It's called the Bergmaster. I think he might be 60 years old or something. It's pretty fantastic. You change the fluid twice a year, and you can run it for 100 years.
And how long have you worked with this week?
27 years. Like going on 37, 38, 39 before I retire. 12 more years.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
General shipping area, we try to stock most everything. A lot of the steering box and racks are made to order for custom valve, U-joint size, or spline size. So once those come in order, if all the parts are in stock, it's usually same day or next day, as long as we have everything here. Obviously, everybody knows material's been issues lately, so we have had some lead times where we've been out waiting on some stuff. But most generally, we try to keep everything in stock or within a couple days going out the door, and we try to do the best we can at that. Storage building for cold storage. We still store our boxes. We put our vans in there in the winter, and anything else that can be stored up there.
And you mentioned that when Randy was here, a lot of his friends would come into town and stay here?
Yeah, Randy had, he was like a rock star in the racing community. People would be coming in from out of town racing in the summer, so we actually had a little condo out back. They'd stay here and hang out with Randy for the weekend, or even during the week we'd have people come here, stop, work on the race cars if they were going to the next racetrack. It was kind of a cool deal, and that's what he did when he was here.
And you mentioned he had basically a little like go-kart test track in the back as well?
Yeah, out behind this building, Randy built a track, just a little circle track. Back in the day, him and the guys used to have fun on go-karts, used to have 5, 6, 8 go-karts to go out and play, and later in Randy's sprint car racing days, he'd go out there and push off and test some products, go out there, see if anything was wrong, make sure the car was right before he went to the racetrack.
If people want to learn more about Randy Sweet, what's their best way to do that?
His bio, he's actually in the Michigan Motorsports Hall of Fame and the Berlin Speedway Hall of Fame. So his bio should be on both those websites. You should be able to find them there.
And I will link that stuff below, because Randy did a ton of not just manufacturing and racing, but a ton of innovation.
Yeah, everybody said he was always ahead of his time. He was always seemed to be 4 or 5 years ahead of this guy. He'd make this product and be like, what's that? And then 5 years down the road, everybody's got this product. He was one of those guys, he never stopped thinking. I've been at the racetrack with him personally. We were drawing pictures in the dirt, and next week we had that product made out of the CNC. It's just how he worked. Never stopped. Randy only had a 3rd grade education, but he was one of the smartest guys I knew as far as metal. He was really smart with metallurgy. He knew what metals to use. He didn't want to use no cheap metal. He always wanted to do the best, and if it cost more, we'd do that. And he prided himself on making the best products we possibly could.
On the car, make the car more stable.
I can't thank Phil and everyone at Sweet Manufacturing enough for all the kindness they showed me while I was there for a couple hours touring their facility. They're dedicated to what they do. They're passionate about racing, and a lot of those guys have been there for upwards of 20 years. That's a dedication you don't find. Sweet has been in business for 45 years this year. If you need parts for your car, especially your race car, your hot rod, or anything, you're starting to get in the UTV market as well, definitely give them a call, look them up, ask them tech questions. They're more than willing to help. Look forward to seeing them in the future and hopefully having something that qualifies for a Sweet part. Thank you guys so much. Look forward to new videos. See you soon.